Hello, welcome to the new video. Today's video we're going to take a look at a team from the community. As said in the videos before, I kind of want to take a look at some of the teams that you suggest here, and today is one of them here which I saw on Twitter, got tagged into it here. So yeah, this team is from Michael Rosen, so thanks so much for sending those this team here. And this team was a lot of fun. I have to say, I want to take a look at the Shadow Latios anyway for this matter. And we're going to have a team with Serperior, the Say Swap of Dunsparce, which you see quite often in my videos recently, just because this Pokemon is absolutely broken in the current meta, and the Latios in the back. And sadly for the first battle here, we're sadly never going to see the Latios in action, because the opponent decides to forfeit after seeing the Dunsparce. So yeah, we're just going to move on now to the next one. We're going to have a Licky in the lead here, and honestly, Serperior is just ridiculously strong. Like, this Pokemon is definitely the best Pokemon from this team. Yes, Latios is funny. Latios has also some unique play, which we're going to talk about a bit later as well. But Serperior is definitely the best Pokemon from this team. Having great bulk, having the access to Frenzy Plant is quite ridiculous, which you see here as well. But also there are a lot of Pokemon that are quite weak to it. There are a lot of Feraligators floating around. And yeah, I just definitely feel like that Serperior is one of the best Pokemon I've played so far for this meta. And this team is definitely very strong. Here, make a mistake in the second battle. Immediately, something that I also kind of want to point out. There are definitely a lot of battles that I did not play perfectly fine. And that's one of them. Here we saw already. They're at the Drifloon there in the back. We have a double weakness to Drifloon because of the Psychic typing on our Dragon type Pokemon. So I had two options. Either actually I had one option. I just needed to stay in with my lead and just basically let it play out, and then I would be able to just align my rock type attacker there with the Dunsparce against the opponent's Drifloon instead of having now my Latios aligned. My only play here is now to try to get as much energy as possible against the opponent's yeah, I forgot the name of it. Poliwrath, but it didn't work out for me. So I feel like this battle would have been definitely winnable if I just played it better, and this is my fault. So, next opponent, we're gonna see here the Poliwrath in the lead, which is actually quite decent for us. As they swap out into the War Ring, we should be able to align ourselves here, as they're going to be able to get out our Dunsparce against them. Again, we have a very nice Rock-type damage coming up against them here with the Rollout as well as the Rock Slide. This is gonna allow us to get a ton of damage already against them. We can try to go for the full farm out here as well with the Rollout, and I'm fairly certain I'm going to be able to still survive on one Icicle Spear, which we can, and we can fully farm them down, have a move stored, have alignment again, have the Poliwrath aligned against any Pokemon, to be fair at this point. Both of our Pokemon are really good against it. We're going to have the Forces now up against our Serperior. You might think, oh, this is going to be a horrible matchup. You're going to have an Ice type against a Grass type Pokemon. That is incorrect. The reason here for this is we're going to be able to outspeed them. We have a lot of bulk, and we're going to have also a little bit of an energy advantage. And honestly, this was a mistake by going for the Aerial Ace. This could have been really, really bad for me if they decided to let the move go through. It was unnecessary because I had a fast move advantage already before going for the charge move. I did not really need to go for the bait there, so that was kind of unnecessary for me. But actually, I make it even a bit too close here in my opinion. I should have maybe let the move go through beforehand, or maybe just went for another Aerial Ace or whatever. But at this point, we're going to have no shields. The opponent could have went for the Ice Unit maybe, but you're luckily going to be able to outspeed them, knocking them out, winning us the battle, and we can move on to the next opponent. Hakomo! This Pokemon is going to be an interesting one again as well here. We're going to have access to the move Aerial Ace, which is going to be definitely needed, as we're going to have a Dragon type Pokemon in the back, but again, our Latios also is going to have the weakness to other Dragon type Pokemon, making it a bit of a tough matchup as well for itself. So we rather want to have a little bit of previous damage onto the opponent, but also against this Hakomo, the issue for this Pokemon, or like for us with this Pokemon, is that the fighting typing is going to be quite annoying for us, as we're going to have a Pokemon here that is going to usually do the rock type damage here with the Dunsparce, and that's going to be resisted, so that's not really ideal. Anyway, we're going to get out the Oranguru, and this is the one matchup that usually would be considered to be the best matchup for the Latios, because we're going to be able to resist the Confusion, which is the main bread and butter of this Pokemon here, as well, of course, resisting something like Karate Chop, which of course other Dragon would also have. But we have sadly a weakness against Pokemon like a Araquanid, as yeah, the bug typing is going to be super effective against us. So that can be a bit tricky. Araquanid is going to go for the Water Pulse. We're going to be able to go for the Hakomo's yeah, Drill Run here. That's going to be fine. That's going to knock them out or get the shield, and they can go for another Brick Break. And so we have to kind of rely here now that we can get to another move with our Dunsparce against the opponent's Araquanid. Or we have to hope that the Lostheart Purge is going to be enough to knock them out at this range. I'm not too sure if we're going to be able to win this one here, but we can actually go for the rock side still. And with this, we're going to use the opportunity to swap out, go for the Lostheart Purge, win the battle with just a 1 HP and a Dream on our Latios. And this is doing so much damage anyway, we're going to be able to win this one. We can move on to the next opponent. And here I'm gonna swap out into the Latios. Against the opponent's Altarian, it is better to go for the Latios, as we will be able to get the shield there, and also our better answer for this Pokemon is going to be our Dunsparce, because we have a little bit more bulk on it. We can go for the full farm on here usually, but they swap out now into the Girafarig, which is a bit of a tricky one. And honestly, I maybe misplayed this one a bit. I could have went for the Drill Run way earlier. If I went straight for the Drill Run, I actually should have been able to align my fast moves as well kind of perfectly there. But it's going to be okay. We're going to have a Drill Run coming through here. We're going to get the shield from the opponent. And maybe this was a mistake to no-shield this move as well here. Here's the issue. We are kind of running out of health. And it is definitely doesn't help here that we use also so much of the... Like, you get so much damage already from the opponent's confusion there by getting extra energy against the opponent's Girafarig. And so... yeah, it is going to be a bit tough. We're going to get them low here. We sadly just barely miss out on the aerial ace. We try to go for the full farm down. We can do this. We have a ton of energy. And we have the Oranguru in the back. And honestly, we are just missing a few HP on our Dunsparce. But you know what we have? 2 shields for the next battle. And so, yeah, we're just going to move on to the next opponent. Broguiere. Horrible lead for us. We're going to swap on to our Dunsparce. We're going to get out the opponent's Primate, which is just... yeah, not great for us, I would say. Like, literally the kind of worst matchup that I could imagine. We have a hard counter matchup here. Maybe you can still come back from it, though. We'll find out very, very shortly. We're going to use a shield here against the opponent's close combat, which is kind of funny because we might be able to get alignment again. The Drill Run is coming through. It's going to be able to get the shield back from the opponent. And just in general, we're just going to get the shields a bit down, which might help us out later on against the Dragonair. Because actually, Serperior Dragonair matchup is not even that crazy bad, as... yeah, we will be able to usually do a lot of damage against this Pokemon still with the resisted Frenzy Plant. But as you're going to see here, the opponent is going to have that Charger Bug now. We can go for the Dragon Claw. We're going to get the shield from the opponent. They overfarm by only 1 fast move, allowing me then as well to even go for another fast move, I think, with my... rollout user here, but they swap out into the Dragonair anyway, which is going to be great, but we have to be a bit mindful here. We kind of need some extra energy on our Dunsparce just for later on, because I know that I'm going to be able to win this matchup here with my Serperior, usually. But then I still need to win the next matchup afterwards. But I make a mistake. I overfarm by a bit too much. I was a bit too greedy here, and the Body Slam is going to knock me out here, which I did not even expect either, and we're going to lose the battle because of this. This was definitely a winnable matchup if I just played it maybe a bit better there. But again, we don't actually know if I would have been able to win the battle if the opponent would have played this perfect. They might have been able to also still win no matter what. But this was definitely not ideal. I did not expect that the opponent would get to the Body Slam that fast with a Dragonair. Congrats to them. But we can move on to the next opponent. This opponent... I actually battle so many times recently. Like, this name I see literally every single day, I feel like. But yeah, we're going to have our Dunsparce now aligned against the Toxapex, which is going to be great for us because we have Drill Run, which is going to do some super effective damage. This is going to allow us to get them insanely low. We're going to have here the charge move coming through, and we will have also now a nice overfarm by us. We're gonna go for the rock slide just in case I want to make some weird catch onto a flying type Pokemon, as it's going to be easily enough to knock them out as well. But they're gonna make a not so weird catch on the Diggersby here, where the Drill Run is gonna still chunk a bit. We can swap out of here into our Serperior. I can even take a hit here if I want to, but at this point I know that Serperior is gonna be good against both of the opponent's remaining Pokemon, which is going to help us out quite a bit. As they're gonna use a shield here, we might be even able to fully farm them down. As we can see here, we were able to do that, and as we can see as well, we're going to be able to go for a Frenzy Plant against the opponent's Diggersby, and even we're going to reach another one here afterwards, which is easily going to be able to knock them out, and again, we win a battle here without even ever using Latios. Sometimes it's enough to just have the pair of Serperior and the Dunsparce, which also kind of showcases how strong this kind of core is here. By the way, of course, against Latios, you can also have other kind of Dragon-type Pokemon for this team. This team is amazing. Like, this team actually worked out really, really well. I feel like, also, especially in retrospective, a lot of games here, I could have won or just played a little bit better. But that is definitely something that I can learn from. It's something where also it is important to play a team for longer than just like 10 or 15 battles, because it's gonna give you a little bit more of a knowledge for certain matchups, which I just didn't have before. And as we will see, yeah, I'm going to be able to align myself, which is going to be great. Oranguru is definitely not going to enjoy this Frenzy Plant. Never mind, they survived with 1 HP in a Dream. I did not expect this at all. Great knowledge there from the opponent. I don't know, but we're going to be able to go for the farm down here with our Dunsparce, get some decent energy in. They have a Digger Spear in the back. I actually completely don't remember this battle, which is kind of weird, because usually if I do battles in like 2-3 days time or whatever, I usually remember all of the battles when I commentate them. I have no idea on how this battle is going to go, which is going to be an interesting one. I actually now start to remember it again, because I remember the Scorching Sand Digger Spear, which annoyed me because I went for so many Scorching Sands there. But what we have to do here is we have to kind of get them low. And also we mostly going to try to keep our energy here. So I decided to go for another Scorching Sand. We can swap out of here. I'm fairly certain they're going to go for a bait here, if I remember correctly. So it's literally coming back here. Yep, it's going to be a Fire Punch. And then comes the Dunsparce. And yes, I could have never forget this battle here. Look at this one. Lostheart purchase coming through. Full HP Dunsparce. See ya later. One-shotting them, which is hilarious. Like, one-shotting one of the bulkiest Pokemon here with Lostheart approach is just ridiculous. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. We're still going to be able to easily win the battle, even though the opponent made it really, really close, because they had even a Fire Punch stored here. We win the CMP time, we can go for the Rock Slide, knock them out, and move on to the next opponent. Of course, a little bit of a Rock Slide BM move there at the end is always kind of needed. As you guys see here, the opponent's going to have a Clodsire. We're going to be able to go for the Drill Run here on the CMP type, which is going to be great. This matchup, I think, is won by Clodsire in the 0 and 1 shield scenario. And we're going to only be able to win this matchup if we're going to go up into the 2 shield scenario, just because we're going to start outspeeding the opponent. That's the only way of, I think, kind of winning this battle. But as we will see here, we're going to have it very, very close. And I could actually take advantage here with my lead of Serperior. And I'm doing exactly this, trying to get as much energy as possible. But as we're going to see, they're going to have, a Bug-type Pokemon here in the back in the Lostheart. And this is going to be a bit tricky, because I have a double weakness to Bug-typing on my team currently. And my best answer is already down. So yeah, I have to kind of hope that I'm going to get the damage onto them so I can farm them down with my Dragon Breath user. But sadly, they're going to be able to get to the move in time, forcing me to use a shield here onto the opponent's Liquidation. That's a bit weird, but at least we will see the opponent's Arachnid coming in. I'm going to try to go for the bait move here by going for the Dragon Claw instead of the Lostheart Perch. Lostheart Perch would most likely come close to one-shotting them at this range, but I just barely miss out on the next Dragon Claw, and this kind of seals the deal here for us. I don't know if we would have had a chance anyway. If they have Bug Buzz, we don't. They have Bug Buzz, we don't. And so yeah, it's going to be a good game. No way of winning this battle. Final battle for today. We're going to have Ferret. This boy is definitely a very happy boy. I love this boy. Look at him. Like, literally look at him. It is such a cool Pokemon to run here right now. Brick Break is going to drop our defense. It makes also the Sucker Punch even stronger. And the fact that the Ferret is actually keeping up quite nicely here with our Serperior is kind of funny. Like, I really kind of think it's funny. But we're still going to be able to win this battle quite easily here against them. We're going to have the Arctibex coming up. It is going to be a matchup where we're going to have super effective damage against them. But they're running Icy Wind here, as I remember. Exactly. And that is definitely a very unique tech move. And I like the move, to be fair. I think it's a cool move, because it's going to allow you to win matchups against other Dragon-type Pokemon. And I feel like that is definitely something that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, why not? Anyway, we're going to have here the Oranguru coming in. They don't take as much damage from us because we're debuffed, but we're still going to do some damage. And we're going to still get a shield here from them, as well as we will see them going for a charge move. And I remember making a big mistake, I think, in this battle here. As Aerial Ace is coming through, all kind of fine, but what I should do next is I should go back into my Dunsparce. What I do is I decide to go into the Latios. I completely forgot on how much energy they had here, and turns out they have quite a lot of that. And so they're going to be able to go for the super effective Brutal Swing, and guess what? Latios does not really appreciate it too much. We're going to have the Arctibex coming back in here, and sadly we're going to lose the battle here. We're just going to be a bit too low because I messed up against the Oranguru. If I just played it out a little bit differently, I would have been able to win the battle. Or at least, that is what you thought, but Latios does have other plans here, and we're going to be able to win the battle with the Dragon Claw, and this is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.